Lori, welcome back to F.A.C.E.
Good morning, Coach Pinkert. How are you?
All right. Well, I have a few injuries in the lineup, but it's next man up, and that's you, Lori. So tell us what's top of mind for you now, going into the end of the year, and what your plans are, and things that you're looking at. Oh, there's that diamond that
Yeah,
Blake showed.
I was
Okay,
so glad I was able to tune in a little early because Blake was tracking with exactly what I was thinking. I've had this 12-hour pattern on my radar, even
nice.
back in here where we had the bear break without a lot of follow through, and we have an equilibrium setting up to the right side. Just a classic diamond bullish reversal pattern. Overall, I'm leaning bearish. This pattern is not enough to get me bullish today. However, it's something I make note of and I say, okay, my thesis is bearish, but this is just something I want to keep in mind so I stay as open-minded as possible. So I definitely wanted to just follow up because Blake and I are tracking. This is something I'm watching for the day. And then a couple comments to add to what y'all are saying with the dollar. We are
Okay.
on our second weekly inside bar, and I can assume that you're seeing my
Yeah,
charts okay.
you can
Perfect.
assume it's correct.
Okay. So we're in our second weekly inside bar, and we know with equilibriums and tightening patterns, volume dries up, and we're
Right.
already in a low volume, low liquidity environment with the market as a whole because of the holiday season. So that those inside bars create misdirection on lower time frames. So if you look at the hourly, it's an absolute mess. Look at
Yeah.
this. Higher high, higher low, lower high, lower low, just all over the place.
Yeah.
It's probing liquidity to the upside and to the downside. And if you will just bear with me in my Louisiana analogies, it's kind of like the drunk girl walking home from the bar in high heels. You know, she's wobbly and she's all over the place. That's what inside bar price action is on lower time frames. You get those misdirections as they just probe liquidity to the upside and to the downside, trying to find where are the buyers and where are the sellers as they're just in this low volume environment. So
So what do you
definitely
think? You have any kind of bias in the dollar going into
I
next year? I want to bring up inside weeks. I actually like them because they set the stage for outside weeks. And
absolutely.
right, so maybe that's what we should be looking for next week. Two inside weeks, and whichever way it comes out of those ranges initially, see if they could turn it for a reversal candle.
Yeah,
So
a pop up above and fail or pop below and
right.
fail. And yes, that's absolutely. And I'm
That
watching this RSI, sorry, this
okay.
RSI trend line. We're kind of stuck right here below 40. And
Yeah.
RSI stands, as you know, relative strength index. We want that
No,
over
no,
50.
I renamed it
What is it?
the real simple implicator
Real
by
simple. And
yeah, by implying either confirmed highs or divergences beginning to develop. So
absolutely. And
that's what it means to me. It's real simple
real simple. Well,
implicator, which isn't even a word. I get a misspelling on it
I was going
because
to
it's
go with
not a
it
word.
as if it was a word. I was going with
Yeah.
it.
All
But
right. Well, I use it. It's in my
I use it simply. Over 50 is we obviously have emerging strength, and the dollar cannot get over 50 on the RSI on
yeah,
the daily, cannot get over
yeah.
the 8 EMA. But if you look at the TTM squeeze indicator, which I like to use, you can see that this bear strength is waning. So the bulls are putting on
It's
a fight.
interesting.
I'm not saying that they're winning, but they are
I
putting
never
on a
heard of
fight.
that indicator. What is that indicator again?
The TTM squeeze indicator is developed by John Carter, and it is when the Keltner channels go inside the Bollinger Band. So if I were to have my Bollinger Bands on
Yeah,
here, let's say Bollinger Bands, and then the Keltner channel comes inside the Bollinger Bands, you have the squeeze action.
yeah,
And then when it pops out of that squeeze and compression, you typically have nice follow through to the upside or to the downside. I trade a lot of options, so I want to know when pressure is building. You know, it doesn't take
right.
a rocket science to figure out that that pressure is building. I just reversed my indicators,
Yeah,
but that's okay. Here, Let me draw my
Right.
little thing. If you see these
Okay.
little red dots, we have that
Yeah.
pressure building, that Instapot. And when it comes, that pressure is released either to the upside or downside, you can usually get some really good follow through. And some of my better trades are using the squeeze indicator. So that's
Interesting.
definitely something I'm watching. And the other comment I wanted to just dovetail is VIX is absolutely, I agree with you completely. It is totally disconnected from the market. I use this table. I do the pregame show every morning free on YouTube. And the way that I can communicate to the audience is I created this table. And these weightings are arbitrary based on my trading experience. And I understand that, you know, the dollar may be more important to someone else versus, you know, bonds are more important. So this is just from my experience, what I am looking at and how important I think it is. And then I just give a check mark. You know, are we in a weekly uptrend? No. Daily uptrend, no. 4 hour, we're in an uptrend, but lower high is expected. And so you just go through all of these different markers, and overall, it just assigns some objectivity, so how I can communicate my thesis. And so overall today, I'm leaning bearish. Hang Seng was up overnight. DAX last time I looked was flat. Let me make sure it's still flat. Yeah, pretty flat. So overall, I'm leaning bearish for the day. And the 4 pieces of information, I like to call it I take my meds every morning, market environment dossier, is what 4 things are really important for me today is that 4 hour, we're in an uptrend, but a lower high is expected on the market. We have that diamond bullish pattern potential on the 12 hour. Tesla is a potential possible ball climax. We have twice the amount of pre-market volume on Tesla today than we did yesterday. And then SMH could, and semis are important. For me, I say semis are the fuel behind the market engine. Let me pull up semis here.
I agree.
We have a little, oh, good. That makes me feel better about my assessment.
And if we get a cooling off of this recent move in yields, it should be supportive.
Absolutely. The yields have been really just whacking the NASDAQ because the NASDAQ has the tech companies that have the largest amount of debt on their books. So high interest rates do not behoove the NASDAQ technology, semiconductors. It's a headwind for them for sure. So I drew this on a higher time frame. So don't send the trend line police after me, but this definitely has falling wedge type behavior, lower lows without follow through. So I'll be watching this today. If semis can find a bottom, I'd like it better if it could fill this gap right here at 19739. You can see I have a little alert set right there at that level. I want to know if that is filled, and that may be the area to search for a bottom. So Tesla and semis, I am watching very heavily today. They're highlighted.
Be more bullish if it didn't fill it.
I would still be
waiting for the fill.
Everyone's waiting for the fill, correct?
And it may not happen.
It may not happen, and we have another fill here at 186.10. So we still have other gaps to worry about, and Tesla does as well below. I'm not in the predicting business. I just follow price action. So I'm watching for this potential gap fill to mark a temporary bottom in the market if Tesla can find a bottom, because we have to have every single sector pulling bullish to help offset what semis and Tesla have been creating and causing to the market. All of this bearish action from these very large, I like to call them the generals. Everyone else has to be pulling the buggy toward bullish if we're going to have laggards in semis and Tesla.
What about Apple?
Apple, let's see. Apple is super important. Of course, it's the largest, and I'm watching it. We hit 12872 yesterday. I'm calling this a monthly double bottom in this equilibrium. I'm not saying it's game over for Apple bulls, but they really need to fight to defend that low yesterday, 12872, for us to remain within this monthly EQ, and that could give a little bit more bullish flavor to that 12-hour diamond pattern if Apple could do that.
Yeah. Okay.
And the other thing I'm watching, just to show you, is we have a broadening formation on the Dow. And the Dow led us here. The Dow has absolutely led this bear market rally or whatever. I can't stand labels because to me, it just gives you some type of bias.
So then you could just say the advance.
I like it. That's what I'll start saying, the advance. The Dow definitely led us here. However, it's running into this broadening formation trend line. I don't short trend lines. I wait for price action to confirm, but this is something I am watching. If they led us to the upside, maybe they could lead us to the downside, looking for a potential bear break in the Dow. I've played this bear break back here. I posted my entries in our chat room live and exits. Just we had this price action once we broke 34325. I entered short, covered my puts down here, and I'm looking for a re-entry on Dow puts.
Okay. How about silver? Everyone's very bulled up with silver and gold. Do you have a view?
I do. My view is it's a rising wedge, the same thing that Blake was talking about. I think it looks better on the 12-hour. Yeah, on the 12-hour here. Let's see if I can.
So would you short it?
Absolutely. And however, with a caveat, knowing that dollar hasn't chosen a direction in its life. So I would short it, but I would short it with one eye on dollar and one eye on silver. But I definitely think the falling wedge that you were showing earlier on the silver gold silver ratio and this rising wedge, I think that this is a great short.
Okay. All right. So you want to tell us, you're excellent at expressing your technical views, Lori. So you teach people. You want to talk about what you do every day when you're not here in F.A.C.E to help
Okay.
people in what's a pretty difficult environment. Let me ask you this. What kind of year did you have this year? And you don't have to give me numbers, but most people I talked to had a fairly difficult year trading in this new regime.
Admit, and by the way, anybody that you follow, if they don't admit that they have losses, the person you are following is probably not telling the truth. I struggled at the beginning of this year adapting to the bear market because I was in such a bull mode. So I would say January through April, I struggled and I was overall red. And then in May, I embraced what price action was. I like to say, when a chart tells you who it is, believe it. It was telling us it was bearish and I wasn't believing it. And once I embraced that, that changed my trading for the rest of the year. So I'm definitely up on the year. I'm actually having a better year than I did last year.
Congratulations, and really appreciate you coming here and sharing your views and some interesting indicators, a squeeze indicator. I've never seen that before. What's the best way for people? And in fact, you have some fans here already in the room that watch you. So
I haven't been monitoring chat at all. But if you want to follow me on, let's see.
They think you have a great sense of humor, which you need in this business, don't you, Laura?
I think you need one. Absolutely. They're such a poor judge of character out there, my fans. Just kidding. Just kidding. If you want to give me a follow on Twitter at ChartGalLori, that would be greatly appreciated. If you want to check us out on chartguys.com, I do a free video for 30 minutes every morning where I rip through about 25 charts in 25 minutes. I go over indices, commodities, crypto, movers and shakers of the day, efficient use of your morning. And my goal is to get people ready for the trading day. I like to say I point out fishing holes and you got to bring your fishing pole.
Like it, Lori. And is LSU in a bowl game?
Oh, my husband was asking me that yesterday, and I am embarrassed to say that I don't know. They should be. We
had a great comeback this year.
Yeah, we had a great comeback. So I will post it on Twitter today if we have a bowl game. I'm a terrible fan.
Well, I want to wish you and all your followers a happy new year, Lori, and that 2023 pips rain down on you and all of your people.
Thank you so much, Coach Dale. Thank you for having me, and the same to you.
All right. You could find Lori on Twitter at ChartGalLori, and you could tell she knows her stuff. So if you like action, I think Lori could provide you with multiple ideas daily. So thanks again, Lori, for being with us, and I'll talk to you in the spring.
That sounds wonderful. Sounds great.
All right, so that's a wrap, everyone. I do believe the team is still doing the morning edge during this holiday period. You could catch them in about 25 minutes. And remember, no matter what you're trading, whether you're squeeze or you learn to embrace, like Lori did, embrace the new trend of the market, don't forget to embrace the people you love and tell them that you do. They're not mind readers. Adios, everyone. Don't just count your pips, count your blessings. See you for the next couple days to wrap up the year. Adios. Thanks again, Lori.
Hey traders, this is Blake Morrow with ForexAnalytix. Thanks for stopping by our YouTube channel. Don't forget to like these videos, share them, and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss any of the content that we provide here for free. Thanks for stopping by. I'll see you in the next video.